An Israeli army receives 3 unidentified bodies from the Gaza via Red Cross, but it is unclear if the remains belong to any of the deceased hostages still held in the Strip. India issues a notification for an Indian Air Force exercise spanning 3 months across its entire northeastern region, bordering China, Bhutan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. First of 6 drills to be held on November 6th next week. Wall Street bounced back Friday, powered by strong earnings from Amazon and Apple, while European and Asian markets ended mixed. Investor optimism over AI and US-China trade truce lifted tech stocks to new highs. President Trump showed off his latest remodeling of the White House, showing off a marble and gold renovation of the Lincoln bathroom. Now, President Donald Trump says he is not considering strikes within Venezuela, following reports that his administration had identified potential military targets within the country. On Thursday, the Wall Street Journal had reported that the Trump administration had identified targets in Venezuela, including military facilities allegedly used to smuggle drugs. A day later, Miami Herald reported that the Trump administration has made the decision to attack military installations inside Venezuela, and the strikes could come at any moment. Now, both reports had cited sources within the government. While flying to Florida on Air Force One, Trump was asked about these reports and whether he had made up his mind about potential strikes. Here's what he said.
So there are reports that you are considering strikes within Venezuela. Is that true?
No.
That you made a decision on that?
No, it's not true.
Now, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also rejected the reports. He replied to the Miami Herald story on social media, saying your sources claiming to have knowledge of the situation tricked you into writing a fake story. The United States has built up a large military presence in the Caribbean in the recent months, with fighter jets, warships, and thousands of troops. That presence will significantly expand in the coming weeks with the arrival of the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier strike group. Venezuela's neighbor and US's ally, Trinidad and Tobago, has put its military on alert and recalled all personnel to their bases. The U.S. Marines are conducting live-fire boat operations in the Caribbean Sea, and according to authorities, the Marine presence aims to disrupt illicit drug trafficking. Trump administration claimed to have conducted at least 10 strikes in the Caribbean and Pacific since early September. As the U.S. ramps up the pressure, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has accused Washington of creating a false narrative to justify an attack and impose a regime change.
I believe that the truth revealed by Venezuelan institutions and public opinion have paved the way for the truth to be known today in the United States, Latin America, and the Caribbean. And the truth is that Venezuela is innocent. Everything that is being done against Venezuela is to justify a war, regime change, and to steal our immense oil wealth, which is the largest oil reserve and the 4th largest gas reserve in the world.
Venezuela has also pleaded with Russia for help. According to reports in a letter to Russian President Vladimir Putin, Maduro has requested overhauls of defensive radars, military aircraft, repairs, and potentially missiles. Reports added that the Venezuelan government has also reached out to China and Iran, soliciting military assistance and equipment to strengthen the country's defenses. The report said that Maduro composed a letter to Chinese President Xi Jinping seeking expanded military cooperation between their two countries to counter the escalation between the US and Venezuela. Now, Europe faces the deadly tension of a new nuclear brinksmanship as Putin tests nuclear weapons and Trump orders America to restart nuclear weapon tests. The continent braces itself caught in a relentless superpower standoff with fate hanging in the balance. Now, here's a report that gives you more details.
Putin's recent unveiling of the nuclear-powered cruise missile Burevestnik and the Poseidon underwater drone sent shockwaves through Europe. These weapons, cloaked in mystery and capable of catastrophic damage, epitomize the Kremlin's push to modernize its nuclear arsenal and secure strategic dominance. Russia's drills included nuclear launch exercises that rattled NATO's eastern flank, signaling a fierce readiness to defend its interests. Not to be outdone, Donald Trump abruptly ended the United States' 33-year moratorium on nuclear testing, ordering the Department of War to initiate nuclear weapons testing.
Well, we would work with the Department of Energy, but the President was clear. We need to have a credible nuclear deterrent. That is the baseline of our deterrence. And so having understanding and resuming testing is a pretty responsible, very responsible way to do that. I think it makes nuclear conflict less likely if you know what you have and make sure it operates properly. So it's the right directive.
Europe is caught in the crossfire. In response, EU member states are rushing to build a war highway, an initiative reconfiguring infrastructure and easing cross-border movements of tanks and troops. The aim is to ensure rapid deployment across the continent. The goal is to fortify the eastern flank against possible aggression. The continent witnessed the horrors of 2 world wars and is now bolstering its defenses, fearing a third. Eastern European nations, Poland, Estonia and Finland are fortifying their borders, while France and Germany are quietly coordinating contingency plans for a nuclear emergency. Yet neither Trump nor Putin seems ready to blink. Both men are locked in a contest of pride and power, and for Europe, caught in between. The 21st century's nuclear race is no longer a theory. It's back, and it's real. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Moving on, Israel has received 3 unidentified bodies from the Gaza Strip via the International Committee of the Red Cross. Israeli military sources say they do not believe the remains belong to the hostages and have sent them to forensic research laboratory for identification. Well, so far, Hamas has returned remains of 17 of the 28 deceased hostages, apart from releasing 20 surviving captives. While Israel accused Hamas of delaying return of the hostage bodies, Hamas has cited challenges locating the remains in Gaza's ruins. In exchange, Israel has also handed over the bodies of 30 Palestinians to Gaza hospital officials. The bodies, currently unidentified, were received at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis, with the Red Cross facilitating the transfer. Meanwhile, Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has announced a crucial meeting in Istanbul to discuss the U.S. peace plan for Gaza. Ministers from Egypt, Indonesia, Jordan, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia and UAE are expected to evaluate progress, obstacles and discuss next steps. Fidan criticized Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu, accusing him of seeking to pretext to violate the ceasefire. According to reports, Turkey sent an 81-strong disaster response team to Gaza a week ago to help with search and rescue operations. But Israeli Foreign Minister Saar said that it would not be reasonable to let them participate because of their hostile approach to Israel. Now, according to a report in the Telegraph, a multinational peacekeeping force is being formed in Gaza, compromising Muslim soldiers from regional countries like Indonesia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates to reduce tensions. Pakistan is also considering sending troops, pending parliamentary approval. Now, the force's role is also being debated, with King Abdullah of Jordan suggesting a peacekeeping mandate, while the U.S. leads the Civil-Military Coordination Center, with Britain deploying troops to monitor the ceasefire. However, Israel has opposed to Turkish or Qatari involvement due to their sympathies with Hamas. Now, Israel's military advocate, General Maj General Yifat Tomer Yerushalmi, has resigned. This is after admitting to leaking a video showing soldiers abusing a Palestinian detainee at SDA Thayman detention facility. The video's release sparked outrage and led to a criminal investigation. Defense Minister Israel Katz has supported her resignation, citing the incident's severity, and will appoint a new officer for the role. Now, Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir sparked outrage after he posted a video of himself standing over bound Palestinian prisoners, calling for the death penalty for the terrorists. The video shared on Telegram has drawn sharp criticism from human rights organizations accusing Israel of violating international law. Around 1,700 Gaza detainees were freed last month as part of the Gaza ceasefire in exchange for the 20 Israeli hostages, some of whom have reported torture and abuse during their captivity. Now, Syria's interim president Ahmed al-Shara has warned officials against lining their pockets with the spoils of war. The warning came during a meeting on August 30th at Shara's former headquarters in Idlib province. Now, according to the report, over 100 loyalists had arrived at the meeting in luxury cars, prompting al-Shara to issue a stern warning. The report suggests that al-Shara ordered officials to hand over the keys or face being investigated for illicit gains. Al-Shara further warned that he would not tolerate any suspicion of corruption among state employees. The warning follows complaints voiced by ordinary Syrians at a meeting with the president earlier that month over the newfound luxury of some former rebels now in the civil service. The episode reveals the new Syrian regime's critical challenge of transitioning from an insurgency to a civilian government without replicating the endemic corruption under al-Shara's predecessor Bashar al-Assad. Earlier this month, al-Shara had warned officials to disclose existing investments and barred them from entering into new private projects. He also said personal relationships with businessmen should be avoided, warning them not to repeat the model seen under Assad. And moving to India, political temperatures in Bihar are reaching a fever pitch, and political parties are competing against each other in making big poll promises. Now, the latest addition to the list is the ruling NDA, which released its manifesto in capital Patna. The key promises include 1 crore government jobs, 10 industrial parks and factories in every district, chipset, semiconductor and manufacturing parks, an employment scheme for women, and 125 units of free electricity. However, across the political spectrum, there is a common theme in these poll manifestos, and that is the promise of millions of government jobs. But the Bihar government's own data suggests that this is easier than done. Now, here's why. The Tejasvi Yadav-led India bloc has promised 1 government job for each family in Bihar. And according to the state's 2023 caste survey, there are 27 million families, which translates to a promise of 27 million jobs. The survey suggests that paying salaries for these 27 million jobs would cost the state a whopping 6.75 trillion rupees, which is more than twice the state's total budget for the current financial year. Similarly, the NDA's promise of 10 million jobs would cost the state an additional 2.5 trillion rupees. This is a tall ask for a state already struggling to shore up its revenue sources. Now, last year, during his Independence Day speech, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar himself admitted that his government had in 2020 set a target of creating 1 million jobs. By 2024, only half, or about 0.56 million jobs, were created, and that is 0.56 million jobs in 4 years. However, this has not stopped the NDA from promising 10 million jobs, with no specifics on how and where these jobs would come from. Now, for months, markets have been moving in rhythm with President Trump's tariff threats and social posts, and every weekend, posts from President Trump sends traders into a frenzy. We decode the 11-step tariff playbook, a pattern so consistent, investors are beginning to trade it like clockwork. Now, here's a report that details all of the specifics.
It all begins late at night, a cryptic post from President Trump warning of new tariffs. Markets start drifting lower even before details are out. In early October, for instance, US futures fell soon after Trump hinted at massive tariffs coming. Then comes the announcement, a 50% tariff or higher. When Trump proposed 50% duties on EU goods in May, European stocks stumbled. Bonds rallied and traders braced for global blowback. Markets try to bounce, a buy the dip reflex, but the rebound doesn't last. In April, after another tariff shock, markets saw a brief rally that faded, setting up deeper lows before a real rebound began. Then, when traders think the worst is over, another move. Late Friday evening, the president doubles down. That's exactly what happened on October 10th. Tariff escalation headlines hit after the markets closed, sending futures lower again. By Saturday, the targeted country responds. India, the EU, even Brazil, issuing statements threatening countermeasures or hinting at negotiations. In August, Indian officials called emergency meetings as small businesses scrambled to absorb 50% US duties. Then, just before markets reopened Sunday evening, a twist. A Trump post signals talks underway or a pause in tariffs. In April, that one line, working on a solution, sent futures sharply higher even before the opening bell. Futures opened strong, but fade by Monday afternoon. Traders realize the pause may be temporary. That surge and fade pattern has repeated at least 4 times this year. Next is chorus singing allies step in. Using TV interviews, they hit out and change the tone soon after. In a calm tone, they soon say, no need to worry. Markets stabilize, at least temporarily. In the following few weeks, administration officials hint at progress. A trade truce with China, a Phase 1 agreement with Europe. Each teaser lifts stocks and fuels optimism. Then comes the big announcement. A deal. Markets rally to fresh records. Tariffs are paused. Optimism returns until the next cryptic post restarts the cycle. And then it begins all over again. 11 steps repeating every few months. Playbook traders are now watching more closely than the Federal Reserve calendar. Reuters calls it the tariff cycle. And so far, 2025 has already seen it play out 3 times. Business Bureau, WION World is One.
And Manchester United head to Nottingham Forest this weekend in their Premier League. United come into the game on the back of 3 straight wins. But it's a verbal sparring between the two managers that is stealing the headlines. Forest manager Sean Dyche has suggested United might have won more matches with a simple 4-4-2 formation rather than Amorim's favorite 3-4-3 system. Now, this weekend also marks 1 year since Ruben Amorim took over as United manager, replacing Erik ten Hag. And the Portuguese responded to Dyche's comments with his usual humor. Listen to this.
Well, maybe it's true. If we play in the 4-4-2, we won more games, but I always said that I have a way of playing that is going to take a while, and then in the future is going to be better. We don't know that. Then I can look at Shandaich as a manager and then as a pundit. If you are a pundit and you don't say very strong things, I don't want to watch you. I'm the same.
Daesh later blamed the media for taking his comments out of context. He said, and I'm quoting here, "I didn't question him as a person. I never do that with managers. It's unfortunate nowadays for us, whether you're a pundit or manager. Clickbait kills everything. It changed the whole story. I want managers to be given time. I don't like seeing managers coming out of situations because I've had it. But unfortunately, that doesn't make the story." Unquote. Now, United have had a full week to prepare for Forest. Lisandro Martinez returned to training on Wednesday after an ACL injury. It was his first session with the group since February. The Argentine has suffered 4 major injuries since joining United in 2022, with knee and foot problems limiting him to just 52 Premier League starts. His return offers a significant boost as United look to keep their winning run alive.
He wants to go to this one. He's not going to this one. He's going to take time. He started training with us, but we had to change some things in the exercise for him. So slowly he's going to get better. He's really good. He's really good, and he gives us that edge in every training session. That is also really good for us.
Now, as Indian superstar Shah Rukh Khan turned 60 on November 2nd, a special 2-week film festival is running in cinemas. And there's still a day for Shah Rukh Khan's birthday, but his ardent fans are already having a reason to celebrate. A few of his iconic films have re-released in theaters across the Middle East, North America, UK, Europe, and Australia. The Global Film Festival, which aims to celebrate Khan's iconic journey in films, features screenings of films like Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, Dil Se, Devdas, Main Hoon Na, Om Shanti Om, Chennai Express, and Jawan. Now, interestingly, Khan himself shared the announcement on social media with a heartfelt message. Apart from the fact that Khan celebrated his milestone birthday this year, 2025 is also special for him because the actor received his first ever National Film Award for his performance in Jawan. The year also marked the release of his son Aryan. The festival will roll through mid-November. Next up, Khan will star in a film with Deepika Padukone, and fans are now waiting for further details about the project. And with that, we call it a wrap to this bulletin. But don't go anywhere. News and updates will follow on the other side. You're watching WION The World. Stay tuned.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. To some, it's an extreme ideology. To others, it's the very soul of India. To some, it's rebellion. To others, it's a principle of nation building. Coming soon to challenge perceptions in RSS centenary year, Kesariya at 100.
Welcome this season of spooks, chills and thrills with our list of Halloween movies. Know all about the most iconic high school characters of all time. and take a look at the cinema co-workers who either ended up fighting or just never got along. All this and much more with me, Diksha Bisla, on WION at these times.
This week on the West Asia Post. Israel's deadliest Gaza strikes and ceasefire. Conflicting narratives and new militias emerge, but innocents still bear the brunt. Iran defies UN sanctions and quietly rebuilds its ballistic missile program. But who is helping the country? Yemen's Houthi rebels arrest alleged spies in their country and threaten Israel again.
Watch the West Asia Post with me, Radi Francis, only on WION. World is one.
He's a very tough negotiator. That's not good.
Given our different national conditions, we do not always see eye to eye with each other.
On Inside South Asia this week, Afghanistan-Pakistan peace hopes dead, at least for now, as talks in Istanbul collapse. Is a full-blown conflict round the corner? Bangladesh rolls out the red carpet for radical Islamic preacher and 2016 bakery blast mastermind, Zakir Naik. Cyclonic storm Montha rams into states along India's Bay of Bengal coastline. This and more on Inside South Asia.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Vielleicht nur aus dem